All right, well, so welcome, Gerard, Burton, to Desert Island Scenarios. You're our second guest. Thank you very much for being here.
Yeah.
It's a pleasure.
And you have the honour of being the first person to be named as an opponent. They can't take that away from you, Gerard. They can't.
I'm sure I won't reciprocate it. So I'll let myself down straight away.
Now, you have to tell us a little about your ASL career, but before the only thing I know about it is really you are the scourge of Dave Ramsey. Dave Ramsey, when he sees you arriving at tournament, goes, right, that's it, that's my straight win.
I don't remember beating you.
You definitely have beaten me.
You've definitely beat me more times. So.
Yeah.
I've got an edge.
Yeah.
But I think it's the way I roll the dice, and I get that slight little angle. You roll it down.
I remember our last game; it was quite close, and you were quite frustrated when you in our game. But it was sporting, and we were all happy with it. But it was close.
It looked like that from outside.
The blood cleared up straight away. It was all fine.
I can always remember our first game.
Go on.
It was the thing with the flamethrowing tanks and stuff, and I think you were crushing me to pieces, and I had one little man at the top of a building, and I just sort of bugged out.
Right.
And I remember you weren't too happy about that defeat.
That sounds like me.
I shamed myself.
No, not at all. You've got to win by any means.
Yeah, any means,
Yeah. So tell us more. Yeah.
How'd you tell us about getting into ASL? How your career as an ASL player?
Well, I came to it late.
Yeah.
I didn't want to play it. 200-page rule book, a load of nerds. Wasn't interested. I was always playing operational games. And I used to play and meet a guy called Aaron Sibley quite a lot.
And
he kept going on, come on, you're going to play AS. I said, jog on. 12 pages of rules, that's me done. It all came about when I went on, Simnich that designs the games. Him and his brother organised a Battle of the Bulge tour called like Band of Brothers. This is about 15 plus years ago. We went with a load of Yanks, me and another guy, and we were the Brits, they were the Yanks. We were driving around looking at all the Bulge battlefields. And we came to the big sanatorium at Clairvaux.
Which is on the map.
Yeah, and one of the guys got the ASL map out and said, look at this. I said, and I looked at it, I thought, my God, that's actually quite accurate. So I thought it was always very abstract, ASL. Yeah. When I saw that, I thought it ignited something. And then I said to Aaron, come on then, let's have a go.
Yeah.
And he taught me. And
he's a good player as well.
So. He was a good player. So my ASL history starting was beating after beating of Aaron. So.
All right, well, let's get down to the thing. So you're going to a desert island, and you can take 3 scenarios with you. And for each of those scenarios, you can have one opponent visit you, anybody you want. So what would be your first scenario?
Well, I had a good think about it. I looked at I keep a win-loss record.
Famous for your preparation, we're going to say. When I've played you, you have a sheet that you don't let me look at, which has notes on it on the scenario. So this
is all the hexes you can see, isn't it?
Lots of stuff. Like he's got all sorts of stats. He's got stats.
I think you have to do that because if you don't prep and someone else does, you're going to be at a huge disadvantage. Mm-hmm. This is why I like this tournament, because they're all blind and you can't see a scenario until the day, which saves so much time.
Yep.
So otherwise, you've got to do your homework. Right, I was looking at it and I chose 3 scenarios which I would like, and I've gone for a very small one for my first one. It's called what's it? Friendly Fire 30, Biedermann's Escape.
Okay. We've played that.
I think we've played that.
Tell us more, just to remind us.
Yeah.
About it.
Well, it's a half a map.
Yep.
It's balanced, and it's fun.
Okay.
And it's doable in a couple of hours.
Okay.
And it's got replay value.
Okay. Okay.
So I think I played it 3 times in all, and I'd happily play that again.
Okay. Okay.
I think I might have played one of you guys at it.
Yeah.
I think we might have played it or something
Is that
similar.
the one where you kept going, telling me how fast the guns were
Could have been, I think it was.
Do you know, we mentioned this in the very last one, the glee that you took in defeating me so completely in that scenario. Was that Biedermann's Escape?
I think there was something with half tracks, and I was like, I'd like to do the sound effects.
Because they had the rates of fire, but they also, they got the doubles and they get 2 hits and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah.
It's a classic kind of Sunday morning scenario.
Yeah.
It's like you can finish nice and early.
Yeah.
Get on your way home from a tournament.
Exactly. Yeah.
Okay. And who would your opponent be for that?
Yeah.
Who would you pick as?
You picked your opponent for that.
Yeah, you pick your opponent for that. Yeah.
I thought it was afterwards.
You've got to play someone in the. So you're gonna. you can just pick one of those guys.
Yeah.
For it.
It doesn't have to be that the scenario is chosen specifically for them. But,
Okay.
Right, so
You want to?
yeah,
Because my normal regular oppos
Yeah.
are Ian Morris,
yeah,
Simon Staniforth,
Yeah.
and Martin Mayers.
Okay.
yeah.
So I wouldn't choose any of those guys.
Okay.
No.
Because it's
It's
kind
good
of
because
a,
Ian Morris did.
I thought about it, but
Yeah.
I thought I'd think outside the box.
Yeah,
I chose 3 guys that I would. There's actually quite a few guys I would choose.
sure.
There's a few I probably wouldn't choose.
Yeah,
But not many, of course, and everyone's quite good. My first guy would be Sam Pryor.
Oh, okay. Yeah, you
Right,
and Sam. I used to when I originally came here. You and Sam were like buddies that would
Yeah.
always play each other.
Yeah.
And you had to kind of, if you had to beat one, you had to beat the other. It always seemed like I'd play one and then I'd play the other one. It was like a double act.
He's such good fun.
Yeah.
yeah.
He knows the game really well.
Yep.
And we played many times together, and I've always enjoyed his company.
Yeah.
So
It's got very dry humour.
Yeah.
He's
Yes.
very,
It's a
nice
very
guy.
nice, very gentle,
Yeah.
sweet sort of guy. The Martin Mayers' wife came to one of the tournaments and was very dismissive about how ugly and unattractive we all were. And then she spotted Sam.
yes,
And she was apparently, he took her back home and she was, oh, who is that Sam? You know, she was very, very interested because he's a youngish looking, isn't he? Although I don't think he's any younger than the rest of us, but he's
he's
blessed
got
with...
boyish good looks.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
my wife said the same thing.
Yeah.
He came to me at my place once
Yeah.
or twice, and
Yeah.
oh, he can come back.
So he's your pick and your wife's.
Yes, you can take Sam anywhere. So,
All right. So number 2, your second scenario. Yeah.
hang on,
Enjoy it.
It's
Enjoy
hard
your
work this
drink.
talk.
Yeah.
My second scenario is because I like the East Front and I like the first part, the early war, the East Front. It's Action Pack 41, the Meat Grinder.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
All right.
yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's got everything.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's 2 maps. Both sides have got infantry, tanks. And it's mainly the Germans attacking, but the Russians just don't sit and take it. They can give it some back. It's balanced
Yep.
and it's fun.
Yeah.
So
We used that as one of the. Did we use it as one of the in the tournaments? In the first tournament, I think we used it. We didn't. No.
No, we haven't used it. Oh,
I think maybe the first tournament, but we'd have to look it up.
yeah, not sure.
But it's lives up to its name as well. I think in terms.
oh
of
yeah,
Yeah.
You get all these. You get an oddity in it. You get the land tank and all this sort of stuff, and
Yeah.
you get KVs.
Yes.
That's right. Yeah, that you can barely destroy. They're
Yeah, it roams
ridiculously
around
light,
impervious.
And you've got those amazing anti-aircraft guns on the half track or the truck or whatever, haven't you? That's.
Can't remember the exact.
There's something.
I think that is the meat grinder.
But I know you've got the German infantry are really good. They're storming in,
Yeah.
and the tanks aren't that good, but they're moving about. And
Yeah. Now, Matt Shostak wrote an analysis of that in
Okay.
a lot of detail in the Banzai. It's got all the lines drawn on it and everything.
Okay.
It's really good.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's a terrific scenario. Yeah.
I don't think he knows what he's talking about. Sorry, mate.
How many times have you played it?
I think 3 times.
3
as well.
times, yeah.
And I'd crack that open
Yeah.
straight away again.
Did you revisit scenarios a lot?
No, because I tend to move on. But,
Yeah.
but I've played them like in tournaments and friendlies, and I realised that's a good one. That's a really good one. Some
Yeah.
I think I wouldn't bother with,
Yeah.
but that's
Yeah.
not many. I quite
Yeah,
like some, but that stands out.
Yeah.
And if you notice, there's a non-PTO flavour. I'm very much. I like the Western Front, and I prefer early war. I don't really enjoy the heavy metal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
And so, who would you choose as your opponent?
right, my second opponent would be David Blackwood.
Okay.
He comes down from Scotland with the
Yeah.
whiskey, so
Yeah.
he's always welcome.
Okay. Yeah.
He's good fun.
Yeah.
He's a challenge as well. I tend to beat him more often than he beats me, but I think I've been a bit lucky.
Okay.
He's a terrific guy.
Yeah.
So
It's an amazing thing he does. It brings a whiskey to each one. I know my stomach isn't ready for whiskey. I thought after my first child I'd be good with whiskey. I thought when I got a beard I'd be okay with whiskey. Still can't do it. I have to do it with Coke, and I can actually found out whiskey and Coke I can cope with. I think I'm not allowed to say that.
no, I think you can have an ice cube maybe.
I tried. I bought the round ice cubes. I tried it all, but Just burns my tummy.
That's the thing about it. You know you're drinking something strong, so you take your time with it.
Right.
When you put Coke in, it becomes like a little it's pop, isn't it?
Aquafis.
Necking it down.
Well,
because
that's
the
exactly it. Yeah. That's the, but I've got to keep trying. I think that's the spirit.
No, so I think he's coming down for the tournament.
Oh, right.
Did you know I saw a bottle of whiskey on someone's table?
No,
and I assumed that was him, but
It's not his. No, that's Steve Cook's.
Oh, okay, right.
Another Scot.
Yeah, the Scots are very generous. Like, it's a myth that they're tight. They
Do you know what?
They bring the whiskey
I just
and
said to
share
him,
it.
I bet that's yours, and he went, "You help yourself." First thing he said. Yeah.
Why aren't we known for our?
Keep your hands off mine.
Yeah. Okay. So number 3. Then number 3 scenario.
Number 3. So I've gone from a half map to a 2 map to a giant sort of historical map.
Okay.
Yeah.
I've been to the place and I've walked the battlefield of this one.
Okay.
And it is from the bunker? DB? What they
Out
called?
of the bunker.
Yeah.
Dispatches
from the bunker.
Yeah.
It's number 150 and it's Fulshamaga Graveyard.
Okay.
It's big.
Okay.
It uses the historic map that the Heat of Battle did for the Malimi airfield. It does everything. You've got paratroopers, you've got gliders, you've got the Brits dug in, but they got a couple of sort of slow moving infantry tanks. They've got to take the hill. They've got to do everything, and it's big, but it is playable. I've played it once with my old mucker Ian Morris.
Okay.
It's a great scenario.
Yeah. So presumably there's Germans landing all over the place via different methods, and it's this fighting.
They come in
going.
waves. You have the glider, the Sturm battalions coming into the Tavronitis riverbed.
Yeah, Tavronitis,
English teacher.
But it's Greek, and it's all Greek to me.
That does sound good.
Yeah.
So the thing is, because you've had the first wave, the defences are kind of more busy. When the second wave comes in, I guess that's the kind of
they tried to storm the airfield, and
Yeah.
they get hung up a little bit. Then the paratroopers like landing all over the place. I think you can pick where they go and everything. And so you got a lot of interest in the defence because you have to do certain sectors, but you've got to plan your defence quite accordingly. So it's got replay value, and it's good, it's pretty good history.
Yeah.
So and how many? That's a big one. Is that like 8, 9, 10 turns?
Yeah, it's about 10 turner.
Yeah.
So it took us about 5 or 6 evenings. So you commit to it.
Yeah.
But the payoff's good.
Yeah.
So I'm more into the big sort of historical scenarios rather than these small ones. But I do like a small one, bit of action. But you get more out. The more you put in, the more you get out of something.
Okay.
But you're going to spend some time reading rules for a scenario like that, are you? Or are you up to date with the parachute rules and the gliders and
You crazy man.
Right.
What's Heat of Battle? You know? No, you have to.
Yeah.
Before I start a scenario, I've got a little crib sheet, so I write down all the special rules and victory conditions, and think about this. Never look at it again, but at least it helps you. An exercise to get. You read the special rules because you don't need them in your head all the time. You need your basic rules in your head.
Right. Yeah. And who would you play that against?
My last choice. This would be a bit of a surprise. I don't want to sound. This is going to sound bad. This is before I realised that we were going to interview.
Okay.
I put Dave Ramsey.
I knew it. Yeah. I had a feeling you might.
Yeah.
Just because you know he hates things like parachute drops and gliders.
He loves it really.
Go on then. Wait.
Well, we've always laughed at how we played. We've laughed. We've cried.
Yeah.
Never had a cross word.
No.
Not even a bad inkling. Even when I sleazed a victory out of it.
It wasn't a sleaze, and I'm the same with Trevor. It was, we
You
all
did
do
say
it.
you thought it was a bit of a
You felt violated.
Do you know what? I'll tell you that to give you something out of the game. But no, that's not a sleaze. It's not.
So we enjoy. We talk about how we store the counters. We find we can talk about football.
Yeah. We had a
all
great
sorts of
chat
stuff.
about your house. I remember that last time we were talking all about your estate. I don't know if it's a house or an estate.
It's a little part of it's a little house.
It's the Gerard estate is what we're going to call it.
We like to talk. We both got too many kids.
Yep.
Interesting private lives. It's good.
Absolutely, yeah.
So gaming is more than just the actual sitting down with a piece of paper and cardboard, which is that's what brings us together. But you want to be with people that you enjoy time with. So all the guys I've mentioned, including the 3 honourable mentions that probably should have been on it, my 3 regular friends, all good company.
Yeah.
That's what it's about.
That is probably the most important thing in an opponent.
Yeah.
Number four.
You only played me once. You never played me since.
Bloody
You
awful.
guys haven't played enough, have you? You've not played.
Just hasn't worked. Hasn't worked out. I don't know. We've been in the same tournaments. It's just.
You're too tough. I can't take
I guess
that.
you both got to get to the latter end of the
in the
tournament.
final this weekend, maybe.
Yeah, that's the thing.
I mean, I've already chosen. What do you want? The runners up or the first prize? They're quite nice, aren't they? Always look from afar. I never,
Now, you've won a fair share of tournaments. I've seen you win double one bits and pieces before, and
But a few little bits of that. Somehow, when everyone's ill and no one turns up,
you're a strong player. You're a good player. You don't get easy wins.
above average, I'd say above
So
average.
I see. I'm average. You see, so you're okay. I think you're above average. I think you're thereabouts.
Nah, I've been lucky.
Also, what I like about you is you're a ridiculously neat person. So I don't know about anyone else apart from your ASL life, but your ASL, your counters are nice, your board play is nice, the side of the balls and everything is neat about you. It's a very nice.
I didn't used to be in gaming. I used to be quite sloppy, but I've got a friend who's quite OCD and he's very good.
Right.
And in the end, I had this eureka moment. Like, if I'm going to do a hobby, I'm going to go all in and do it properly.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
And so it's the preparation,
I think there's something. I think some of the best players I've ever played. The counters are neat. They turn them neatly to show that they've moved. So it's an ordered mind, isn't it? And I think there's it comes to them naturally. But I think
everyone's got the will to win, but have they got the will to prepare to win? So you got to go deep into this,
And who knew that the players that I've played against that have had literally counters on their elbow as they've lifted up don't do so well? It's incredible.
So the last question is. What do you want to take as a non-ASL game? We'll take one non-ASL game with you onto the island.
Well, that's difficult because I'd call myself a war gamer that plays ASL.
Yeah.
So, and I've sort of starting to gravitate more back to my non-ASL roots, which is more operational gaming.
Yeah.
So I've picked one game.
Yeah. It's
quite a big game. I don't. This is going to bore all the ASL guys. It's silly here. Vance von Boris is the designer, and he does a lot of East Front games, and it's called the East Front series, and Barbarossa, and the one there's quite a few in the system. I'm Group North, South, Centre, Crimea, Typhoon, and Kiev to Rostov. They're works of art. They're fantastic. It's a divisional level game, each turn is 2 days, and it's normally the campaigns can last up to 40 turns. They're big games. Yeah. But I've been playing it before ASL. I've been playing them, and I'm still playing them. I solitaire them, and so it's my morning sort of break for an hour.
It's a bit of relaxation for you, almost.
And it's history. I love reading the history. Yeah. But of those games, I picked the Kiev to Rostov one, because there's lots of scenarios in the box. You got 3 or 4 beautiful maps, beautiful counters, and you really get into the history and you learn about the Kiev pocket. It's detailed, and it's not the narrative you think it is. It's not a slam dunk for the Germans. It's actually quite a difficult campaign, and then it makes you read the books and you find out. Your light bulb moments go off.
And how long does a game like that take? Is it
for me, solitairing. They've got small half map and tiny ones which you can do in a few hours, but I can't play that. If you solitaire, I can only do a player turn a day. Where it's doesn't matter how big or small it is, because you've got to get your mind and do your best for that. And look at it. The next day, you sit on the other side, and you do it. So they take me quite a while to work through. But since lockdown, when I re-got them all out, I've gone through all of them. The whole lot, big and small. I've done everything, and I realised, wow, it's fantastic.
Okay.
Have you never played it? Never played it with an opponent?
Oh, I did.
You have done,
lots. But I played quite a lot of them. But the big, they're quite nitpicky. The rules, so a bit like ASL. And it's hard to get people to play at the right standard. I suppose I could go back into Vassal and do it and get some people, but I've heard there's a little group in the UK, because on Constant World there's quite an active discussion group on there, and there's quite So I might start making some feelers out and get some face-to-face action.
Well, maybe if anyone plays, they can get in touch.
Get in touch.
We can get you 12 opponents lined up. You can play them all, play my mail. I won't get to go to work anymore, but you can do that before you go.
So that's my other side. That's my secret pleasure.
Yeah,
wonderful.
Excellent. Well, thank you, Gerard.
Yeah.
You've been mentioned many times on our videos, but you've never obviously.
Have I really?
Yeah, you get mentions, lots of mentions. Yeah, so all in good.
I hope it's not Martin Myers and the double dud.
No, but we'll get you.
We'll make sure we get that in there.
Yeah, you've got to ask it. That is a good story, and he says it well.
All right.
He's a good raconteur, you know. I haven't got Martin's gift of the gab.
Okay, well, we'll get you to tell that story to us. Well, other than that,
best of luck in the tournament.
Yeah, good luck. You going to win it this year? Is it your year?
I'll be in the first round.
Okay. Okay.
Thanks, Gerard.
Gerard, thank you very much. Cheers.
Cheers.
Thank you very much.
Cheers. Cheers.